Said we would be talking about pivoting, and pivoting in business is really hard. And I just want to talk a little bit about it because it's something that maybe you've heard about a lot, but perhaps you're not quite sure what it is or what it means. And what it is, if we think about it in very generic terms, if you think about a netball player, they catch the ball, they pivot on one foot, and then they throw the ball and carry on. Okay, and that is exactly what pivoting is. It is really just about changing focus and maybe even changing direction a little bit. So if you think about this netball player, right, they get the ball, then there's this quick, agile movement that makes them change direction. But that change in direction is still strategic. It is still well thought out, and they have a pretty clear sense about where they're going. If they don't, and if they're throwing the ball in panic, you'll probably end up losing that pass. Okay? The exact same way and the exact same principles apply in our businesses. So in the same way that a netball player makes sure she checks out all her options, in the same way you need to do that in your business too. And there are a lot of different ways that we can pivot in our businesses. And today I just want to mention 3 of them. And maybe they're obvious, but I think it's useful just looking at them as a starting point. And then from there, hopefully that stimulates some of your thinking. So the first quite obvious one is to actually change your products and services altogether. Okay? So that is saying, I'm looking at what my customer needs, what does my client need, and how has that need changed, right? And make sure that I'm adjusting my products and my services to still be relevant to their needs, okay? So a popular example that has popped up during COVID-19 would be, think about all of those gyms that I've closed down. And there's this constant reminder that I get about this one gym that decided that they were going to rent out their spinning bikes to all of their members. Okay, they didn't have much of a plan in place. They just knew, okay, cool, we're not going to have people for a while. Let's just give them some bikes. Maybe they didn't even have good controls over those things, but they've rented out their bikes. And now during lockdown, their members have still been able to connect with them because now they're running online courses or online lessons. And these people are staying in shape at home, and they have made sure that they still stay relevant to their customers. Now, if you think about that, the customer loyalty that has been built up through that experience is just so much greater. Okay, so I want to encourage you to think about ways that, hi Felipe, I'm so happy to see someone who's online, so thanks. At least I know my post is working. Okay, so that's the first thing. So think about ways that you can change your products or services to make sure you still match to the new needs of your customers. Okay, so that's the first one. The second one is, while you are busy thinking about new ways you can serve your customer base, or thinking about how you can take your products and really make them work in the new economic climate, you might find that different people start needing your product or service, and your old customer target market that you had have sort of fallen away. And that's what happened in my business. I realized that even though I was doing training, and maybe there is still a need for training, but the people that I was serving, specifically in the university space, they don't really need my services right now. So yes, the need is still there, but it's not immediate, okay? So I had to try and think about how I can change the things that I'm doing to serve a potentially new target market. And what I've done is I've said, okay, I still have some financial training that I do, I still have Excel training that I do, and eventually we'll get back to some of the work readiness stuff I was doing as well. But what I've done is I've repackaged it, I've changed my marketing strategy, I've changed my marketing message to suit my new target market. And I've said, okay, cool, so if students are no longer my target market, who actually then does need my service? And the reality is, during COVID-19, small business owners need a lot of help, and I'm able to provide that assistance. So I've been able to pivot, not necessarily by changing my products and services altogether, but taking what I've got and just repurposing it to fit to my new target market. And there are a lot of ways that we can do that in our businesses as well. Okay. The thing that helped me a lot was, because I didn't have to change all of my products and services, and I could just repurpose it, it made it much faster to actually get to the point where I was able to reach my new target market. As opposed to the first example, maybe where you're changing your products or services entirely, maybe you're having to recreate a whole lot of things, okay? So think about what is going to be the path of least resistance for you in your business. The benefit of the first one in terms of changing your products and services but serving the same target market is that you already have a loyal customer base. So you can just say, okay, cool, so I'm still wanting to serve you, I know your needs have changed, I will now meet your needs in a different way. Whereas for me in the second example, though I have the same products and services, I've had to really change my database of people or my network of people that I'm connecting with. So it really just depends on what sort of space you are in, which one would make most sense for your business. And then the third one I want to talk about is going online. Okay, we've seen a lot of things about going online. You should have seen a lot of things about Zoom. Your digital marketing should be in place. And really, if you are not in the online space at the moment, your business is probably going to be suffering a lot and potentially close down. So you need to think about how you can take your products and services and either digitize them or virtualize them. Okay, if you have been doing a lot of one-on-one sessions with people before COVID-19, you have to now start learning how to use video conferencing tools, okay, using Zoom, using other digital tools that help you to connect with people. And maybe even think about how you need to change your marketing strategy and your communication strategy. And we'll talk more about that in next week's session. But if you've been doing a lot of email marketing and that's no longer working, then change it up. You know, it might mean going live like I'm doing now, or it might mean connecting in with your people on WhatsApp. Okay, there are a whole bunch of options, and especially during COVID when people are under lockdown, and I think it's gotten a bit better, but the simple act of picking up the phone and checking in with your clients and your leads to see how they are doing, that can really be a pivotal part in creating more business for you. So those are just 3 things I want to leave you with. And as I said, there are a lot of different ways that we can pivot, but it really is dependent on what is happening in your business and what the products and services are that you are offering at the moment. Okay, so I would really like to know how you have pivoted, if you have at all, and what have your experiences been, what have your thoughts been. Maybe you've done some research and you found some interesting things. Do share them. I would love to find out how things have been going for you in your business. Okay, so as you are thinking about your new ideas, think about new ways to serve your existing market, or use your existing methods to serve a new market. Okay, so just think about those. And then if you are starting out a business altogether, because last week I said if you're just starting out your business, today's also a good session to be in. And it is, because in the same way that we have to think about pivoting an existing business, starting a new business has very similar processes, okay? And I want you to think about what needs are in the market around you. What are the problems, the pain points, the pitfalls that you are experiencing as a consumer? And figure out if there's a way that you can meet that need in the market through the skills that you bring to the party, through your passion, through your enthusiasm. And just think about ways that you can uniquely contribute to the economy. I don't want you to think just about like network marketing opportunities. They're great, but there is really a lot to be said for doing something that you are passionate about and bringing something to the market that is unique to you. Because if you can show that you are different and you solve, maybe it's the same problem, but if you solve the same problem in a different way and you're able to bring your unique selling proposition to the market, then the likelihood of you being happy in what you're doing and the likelihood of your business being a success is that much greater. And through all of this, with pivoting and with starting out a new business, planning goes along with that. Okay, and as we said last time when we were talking about our next 6 months, we were planning and we said as part of planning, we need to do some budgeting, right? And the same goes for pivoting. We need to make sure that our new pivoting options that we are considering are feasible. And we do that by budgeting. And often pivoting and starting a new business comes from a position of not generating enough income or needing to supplement existing income. And along with that, obviously budgeting fits in, but also managing your costs. So next week's last free webinar that's happening on Wednesday from 1 until 2 p.m. your power hour for the week. We'll be talking about why budgeting is a curse word. No, is not a curse word, but cutting costs should be. And as I said, this is the last free session that we will be having. This is the third one that we are doing, the last of 3, and from August onwards I will be inviting you to join as a member to be able to get access to all of these resources. Okay, so I want to encourage you to join us for that today. And I actually just want to check, see if there are any comments, any questions. If you do have any questions, you're welcome to pop them in the comments, and we will address them as we go after the session as well. But that's really what I wanted to share for today. It's short and sweet, but I hope you found that was helpful. And I really do want to know how we can help you to take your business to the next level, to help you be more profitable and sustainable, because that is what we are all about. So next week, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, we will be talking about taking your business online. And I'm not just talking about taking your product and turning it into virtual. I also want to talk about what that means for your employees, because that's important. You know, remote work is something that has been super prevalent during COVID-19 and might even continue for a lot longer than just during lockdown. So firstly, your employees. Then thinking about what that means for your communication strategy, okay, and how you're going to be reaching out to your employees and to your clients. And then even the tools that you might need to use during this whole process of going online and making sure that you are productive. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you again next week. Bye-bye.